What's going on, you guys? It's your boy, Pepsi, the dude with attitude. So crack a 40 and check your rollies and sit down, because we got a lot to discuss. If you're not a wrestling fan or whatever, just see yourself out of this video. This is going to be strictly over a wrestling event that took place today called WWE Super Showdown, which was a super letdown for me because it was an average pay-per-view just like the rest, in the sense of we got a little, we had a few good matches, but it was just, for those that watch on a daily basis, you know what I'm talking about. First off, I will be covering everything, but I'm going to start out with Goldberg versus Undertaker, and there'll be some of that in the background. WWE, this is why you're losing people to AEW. It's one of the main reasons. Make no mistake, if you think AEW is some t-shirt company, that's stupid. They've had more than one event, and they're generating a lot of buzz. And they have the talent, and they have the money. That's all they need. But, it's not that WWE doesn't have talent. It's not that they don't have money, because we know WWE has a lot of money. It's the fact of Vince. To me, Vince is killing the company in so many ways. And if you disagree with me, I can understand that. But like, take this match for example that we saw at the pay-per-view. These two should have fought years ago, and yet they're fighting now. Why are they fighting now? I sure as hell don't know. But if you watched the match, it had an okay flow. Hold up, you know what? Hold up. I don't know how, if y'all are going to be able to hear me, so I'm going to go and turn off the sound. If you watched the match, you saw that it was starting to get really hyped up, and it was starting to get really good. But then there was so much, how do I put this? So many negative things with it. You could tell they were tired. You could tell they could barely go. And I'm not attacking them. I've loved Undertaker forever, and Goldberg's pretty badass. So, I like them both. The fact of the matter is, they shouldn't have had this match when they did and how they did. It's just the fact. It's just the fact. And if you're watching the match, you'd see that, Goldberg, when he came in, they had him set to get bloody. I noticed as soon as he walked down the ramp, he had a cut already ready, so they planned on him bleeding. So that wasn't a mistake. The mistake was him going for a jackhammer. He's not strong enough. He's not young enough anymore. He can't do stuff like that. But they're like, but this will be great in Saudi Arabia. We'll get money. The Undertaker versus Goldberg. Vince, we do not live in the 1990s, and we're not in the 2010s anymore, or we're not in that era anymore. You got both these guys, and they're not going to say no because of the fans. What's up? Lunatic Part Bad News. Lunatic Part. Oh, that's your name. How are you? If you're new to the channel, please check out our other videos. This is a spur of the moment stream, so just bear with me on that. Okay, so as we were talking about, he went to go give Goldberg Goldberg went to go give him a jackhammer. And instead of getting a jackhammer, it was just basically a suplex. Now, that's not the problem I had with. The fact is, when he lifted him up, it was too much, and Undertaker literally went down on his head. You can rewatch the match. And from then on, you could kind of tell, oh shit. But Undertaker sold it well. He kicked out. There were two parts. Yes, I do play online. But at the moment, I'm discussing a pay-per-view. I'm discussing the final match, and then I'm going to go through the other matches. Um, the fact of the matter is that whenever all this went down, all they thought about was money. You could tell. Because these Undertaker and Goldberg haven't been training for months. I don't even think this was probably their very first time in the ring. They haven't been at the Performance Center. It hasn't been happening. I honestly believe that this should have not happened. I think they should have ended it with the match beforehand, but they wanted to go with this, so hurrah, hurrah. More money for them, I guess. But he went down and he hurt Undertaker. And like I said, there were two parts in this match where I got really worried. When Undertaker tombstoned Goldberg, it looked like Goldberg landed on his head, but Goldberg kicked out, so I was like, okay. And then when the jackhammer thing happened, I was like, oh crap. And I think a lot of people were. I've had people message me and say, did you watch that? Did you actually see that? You see what they're making them do? And it's like, and I know what you're going to say, they're not making them do anything. Well, they're not, but they kind of are. So, the fact is that it's a match that just shouldn't have happened in my eyes. And we go on, and after that, if that wasn't bad enough, Undertaker kicked out, and then he went to give Undertaker a tombstone and fell on his ass. Once again, I'm not making fun of him. Goldberg's really cool, but he could have really got hurt. He could have really hurt someone else. And it was scary. The spots were really cool to start out the match. I loved how they started off the match. I loved the snake eyes and then a spear. I loved all that. It was scary, and it had me hyped, okay? Or it wasn't scary, but it had me hyped, those spots. But then we got to the scary spots with the jackhammer, and then all that was just... It takes you out of the match, and instead of worrying, oh shit, who's going to win, you're like, oh crap, I hope this is over soon. They're going to get hurt. And as a wrestling fan, you shouldn't have to worry about that. That's what... The moment the jackhammer thing happened, and then to top it all off, the tombstone. And if that wasn't enough, the rose on the little bow tied on this match, he went and gave Goldberg a chokeslam, and that's how it ended. I was happy it was over, but he could barely lift him up for that. And the look on Undertaker's face. This is a match that should have happened years ago. And I know I probably sound like a broken record, but that's just the fact of the matter. It was disappointing. And WWE, that's on you for just wanting money. I guarantee you, if Triple H was in complete control and not Vince, things would have probably been really different. But it's not like that right now. And it is very disappointing on that part. But no, the main event was very lackluster. And right after all those botches... It took me out of it, and WWE, shame on you for making them wrestle. Like, don't tell me you don't have other storylines you could do. You could, like, there's so many other ways. Why do you have to, I don't get what you're doing. I keep thinking you're gonna wake up and do things right. I mean, you kind of, there were good spots at this pay-per-view that you did. But then there was just some stuff where I was like, why? Anyway, very disappointed in WWE for their greed and what led to this match. It broke my heart to watch. It doesn't matter if you're a kid. It doesn't matter. If you're a kid, then you probably didn't notice it. But it was very sad to watch. I wanted to get on here and talk to y'all about it, because it broke my heart to watch. Anyway, the pay-per-view itself actually started out pretty good. It started out with Seth Rollins, with a title match, and it had freaking Seth Rollins going against Baron Corbin. Now, I know not everyone likes Baron Corbin. I don't blame you. The way they portray Baron Corbin is trash. It was a little disappointing that he came out in his same old attire, looking like a fucking businessman and all that bullshit. But the match itself, it was okay. It started to pick up. I didn't like the ending. They did that, just disappointed in the ending with that to get really good there, So it's kind of like, are you going to give us a good match, or do you just care about the next pay-per-view? Because, we're here for this pay-per-view, not the next. Worry about that one later. But, see, they don't care about that stuff. It was a little unpredictable. Everyone thought Undertaker was going to cash in and be successful tonight. And it was pretty cool how instead he got his ass kicked by Seth Rollins. I mean, it would have been too predictable for him to win instead. And then it leads up, everyone's saying, okay, he's going after Kofi Kingston. Well, he didn't. In the end, it was just him, leaving, getting his ass kicked, which I enjoyed. Because, he doesn't care about the fans, and I sure as hell don't care about him. He cares about money, That's all he's cared about. But yeah, so that's how I felt about that match. It was pretty badass. I loved Finn Balor's entrance. It was really good. They didn't have to do that, but they did it as a special thing since they were in Jeddah. So I really enjoyed it. And that match is my favorite match. And I'll get more into that later. Right now, like I was saying, I'm just giving y'all a very mild review. I'll probably make a video or something diving more into the show later. But that match, it's called Super Showdown, right? And you'd think, Super Showdown is matches that would be a Super Showdown. Like, for example, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant. Super Showdown. Let's see. The Rock versus Stone Cold, Super Showdown. Now, I'm not saying these happening now would be a Super Showdown. I'm saying in general. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, Super Showdown. You know what I mean? And instead, no. It just baffles me that they went through with this stuff. They didn't have to. But WWE, if you've been watching as long as I have, they're going to do what they want. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think it's working, but that's just me. But the Finn Balor match, that was a Super Showdown because that was two people who was like, who's going to win? I actually began to not care who was going to win. It was so fast-paced, start to finish. And the match was only, 10, 15 minutes? And it was so enjoyable. I really enjoyed that match. Compared to the rest of the event, they did a good job with that match. Andrade Cien Almas, hell of a competitor. Really good at selling. And so is Finn Balor. They didn't have no build up to this match. I didn't really care at first, and then I realized, oh shit, he's facing Andrade Cien Almas. This will be a good match, whether there was a build up or not. I'm freaking ready. Let's go. And I was not disappointed. That's my favorite match. That was the only one that really truly felt like a showdown. Roman Reigns versus Shane was blah. I'm not going to talk bad about Reigns. I'm just going to say it was a whole lot of the same shit. I did like the ending, though. Drew McIntyre came in and claymored freaking Roman out of nowhere to set up their match in whatchamacallit, in WWE Stomping Grounds in 2 weeks on June 23rd, I believe. That's why they went that route that they did. And Shane was okay. I mean, I guess you could say, the match itself was blah, but it was a match I could have saw on Raw. The only good part was I liked that, I did really enjoy and was surprised to see Shane actually spear Roman. I like that. It reminds me of The Rock whenever he would turn around and do, Stone Cold Stunners and stuff. You know. So, it was blah. Orton versus Triple H, it wasn't bad. It was 25 minutes. A lot of people said it was like super, super long. I found it similar to the WrestleMania 25 main event, but I liked the ending. I'm not going to lie. The ending with this was good. It looked like Triple H was going to go for a punt and instead got RKO'd by Orton. They should never have another match again. It was a good ending. Finally, the coal that was squeezed to become a diamond became a diamond, and he beat his creator. That was good. Just leave sleeping dogs where they lie, or whatever. That's the problem with WWE. They always gotta try to outdo themselves or whatever. I don't know. Braun versus Bobby. It was a short, fun match. Felt like a showdown, kind of. You got this big guy, Bobby Lashley, acts like he's fucking God and this and that, and he's built. And then you got the monster among men, freaking Braun Strowman, and it was good. I liked the ending, and I liked the show power between both of them. It was really, it was pretty cool. Ziggler versus Kofi was very fast-paced. Felt like a showdown because these two have had so many good matches over the years. If you haven't seen their matches before, then you've really messed out because they've had some pretty good matches. All the way since 2009 and I think even 2008. So if you haven't seen those, I would definitely suggest you checking them out. You won't be disappointed. I'm gonna go with his old attire. Dolph was great as always. The ending was surprising because basically I couldn't remember his name. Xavier Woods got involved. And I don't know why, but they decided to do that for Kofi. I really wanted Ziggler to win, but let's face it, everyone knew he wasn't going to win. But to have Xavier get involved, it was a weird route for them to go with the story, in my eyes. But overall, the match was cool. It was too short, though. But the unexpected help at the end, I really started to think Brock was going to come out and do something after that. But now they have a rematch in a steel cage in about 2 weeks. So basically everything that happened tonight is going to happen in 2 weeks. So if you missed tonight, you're not missing anything, except Goldberg and Undertaker won't be killing each other in the frickin' ring, which is great. Speaking of Undertaker, before I end this video, I do want to say this. He had a great entrance, and I appreciate the effort by him and Goldberg. But the match itself, literally, when you watch a wrestling match, and for some people they're going to be like, what? Cry? But when you watch a wrestling match and you cry or whatever, it's usually because it's so good and so magical. And it's very rare that this happens. Like, let's say your favorite superstar finally gets what they deserve, or whatever, or someone retires. When Edge retired, I cried. Those are good moments. But when you're on the urge of almost crying because you think freaking one of your wrestlers has got a broken neck. I mean, Goldberg has kids. He said he was going to bring an ass-kicking machine. This was an okay match, and it looked, like I said, it would have been so much better, but not to kill each other. Very disappointing in that regard, and I'm actually so happy it's over. Super Showdown was a super letdown. I don't know if WWE is ever going to learn. Hopefully AEW will help them, and if not, I'm not putting all my cards in the AEW basket, but they could do so much better with their stars. The Battle Royale was cool. It was expected. Had a lot of stuff. I I don't really have anything to say about it. That's nothing really surprised me. So there's that. But yeah, that's how I feel about the pay-per-view. For those of you that did watch or that watch later, I do apologize if I seem off. Like I said, just the match itself, it was disappointing. So hopefully y'all understand what I mean. I just had to get a lot of this off my chest. I wasn't even planning this video, or this stream, and I know it's kind of short, so anyway, for those of you that watch later, just a reminder, I wasn't trying to badmouth either one of Goldberg or Undertaker. I was really badmouthing WWE because something has to change. And this is why I don't really, this is the main reason why I don't really watch Raw or SmackDown anymore, because of the stuff they do, with their superstars and how they treat them, and it's ridiculous. I hope Undertaker, honestly, if Undertaker retires, he doesn't need a send-off. As far as I'm concerned, he's had a shit ton. Unless he himself absolutely wants one, I don't think he should get one. But that's just me, like I said. Hopefully, honestly, Goldberg, the more he comes back, the more he just tarnishes himself. But what's up, the real one? How are you? We're just wrapping up our stream talking about what happened at the Super Showdown. But, yeah. So those are my thoughts. Be sure to comment down below later, or the real one, if you watched the pay-per-view, be sure to tell me what your thoughts were on it. Like I said, I'm kind of at a loss for words. It had good, it had bad, and then it just had terrible. So, anyway, if y'all enjoyed this, be sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel and want to see more wrestling content, we do have a series called Scripted, which is going to be coming on Saturdays, where basically I'm going to be talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, AEW, like a bunch of stuff, including WWE, and I'm going to be talking about their scripts, their storylines. I'm going to be dissecting rumors. This will be every Saturday. So if you're a wrestling fan, and you like to just hear discussions and stuff like that, be sure to check out those videos. It won't be this Saturday. Probably the first episode will be next Saturday. But, yeah. And like I said, it will be scripted. So if you're a kid and you don't want to know what the storyline's going to be, don't watch my video, because I'm not going to be just talking about rumors. I'm going to be talking about confirmed stuff. Because, like, the Goldberg versus Undertaker thing, I knew about a month before they announced it on WWE. I have my sources, so. Anyway, hopefully y'all enjoy that series. And like I said, if there's anything in specific y'all want to talk about, that won't be a stream series. That'll just be a video series, so. And, yeah. So, hopefully y'all enjoy that. And like I said, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. And I'm going to go ahead and probably take off. Y'all have a good day. And remember, Pepsi then, Pepsi now, Pepsi forever, and most importantly, Pepsi forever, and survive and endure. I just messed up my outro. That's how much all of this just really got to me. Y'all have a peptastic day.